Hi there. It's your second favorite DP right here, okay? No, that's Deadpool, you silly little Hufflepuff. Anyways, I'm gonna need you to shut up that pretty little mouth of yours and pay attention because the show's about to start, alright? And, I don't know about you, but I know who's my vote for sexiest ex-soldier turned pop culture show host. Alright, enough foreplay. Let's get on with the show.
Every week's an epic feat. They shed light on what's the trend. When will the madness ever end? From movies to the latest shows, you never know how far they'll go. Come aboard and take the ride. Let's uncover what's inside. Warriors of the night, here to fight. Pop culture explosions in the spotlight. Tune in for laughter and some cheers. Legends rise.
Hey, everybody! Holy smokes, it's Tuesday night. Welcome, one and all. It is Tuesday night. It is July 29th, 2025. This is episode 211 of Pop Culture Warrior. It's the show where I stay up to date on all the ins and outs of what's happening in pop culture so you don't have to. I am, of course, your host, CQ. And this is where I'd say, and joining me tonight, I had someone. Mad Mike's not joining us tonight because he's off in Alaska. He's fishing for halibut and all this other nonsense that's out there. What is that? What is that popping up on my screen? What is going on? What is happening here? Okay, we'll take that away. It's Taco Tuesday, baby. Yeah, that's what's up. Hey, thank you for tuning in. You got Joe, Keith, Elf, Insomniac. What up? All y'all hanging out with us. If you are out there watching, if you can hear the sound of my voice, drop a hey, drop a hi, drop a where you're tuning in from. Drop a, did you see anything cool at San Diego Comic-Con? Because I know I did. What's up, Todd? How you doing, buddy? Man, so much to talk about. He says, I hear CQ, but I don't see anyone. It must be camouflage. I get it, because you can't see me because it's camouflage. Yeah. Funny. Guys are hilarious. I do have a guest. He's having a little of the old technical snafus. I'm sorry, not a guest, but a co-host. He'll be joining us here shortly as he's able to get back online. Dude. I mean, oh, hey, what's up, Joe? Kerrville, Texas. Yeah. I don't know where that is, man. Texas is a big place. Give me like a big city nearby, like closer to Dallas, Austin, Houston. What else? I don't know. What other places do I know in Texas? That's about it. That's all. Oh, busted. Insomniac says, you sound like you did a lot of talking. Guilty as charged. I plead the fifth, but no, I did a lot of talking. And this is me straining to be heard. It was, let me just say, first and foremost, I want to thank you. If you're watching this, if you're hearing this, if you're later on catching this on a replay, thank you. Because it has been a dream of mine to go to San Diego Comic-Con for years. And I tried. I put the money aside. I saved up. I pinched the pennies. And I was like, all right, I'm going. Anybody that knows that's tried to go, it's based on a lottery system. So you just get a random spot in line. And if it ain't in the first, 100,000, then, you don't get tickets. And I've tried for years to get tickets. The good old-fashioned American way of buying them. Not secondhand, because them scalpers are crazy. But it wasn't until building up this show, building up this network, getting press credentials, and I was finally granted press passes to go to San Diego Comic-Con. And when I tell you I made the absolute fucking most of it, oh, you better believe. I shot about 200 gigs of content, probably more. Somewhere in that range of content. And I hit all the staples of, I filmed interviews with cast and crew. I filmed interviews with CEOs and company heads. I talked to people at booths. I did the classic interview cosplayers. Like, I hit all the checklist. I did the content creators checklist of San Diego. Like, I hit it all. I went to the after parties. I went, I did, I'm going to say damn near all of the activations. I think I just missed there's like a Percy Jackson one and a Fantastic Four one. I think those are the only two. There's like 20. And I think I only missed 2 of them. Everything else I did. I walked the floor. I, went to all the pop-up activations, the experiences. I did the press room. I did for was the press pass worth the work? I mean, technically, you could get a press pass and then not do anything. I mean, you could, but you'll have nothing to show for it. But listen, I'll be the first to admit I love this stuff. I absolutely love this stuff. I worked my ass off. I was putting in 14 hours a day, averaging 20,000 steps. Like, if I had one thing scheduled at 1 and I knocked it out in 15 minutes or 20 minutes and I had another thing at 2, like, I was like, all right, what can I do with that 40 minutes? I was like, I didn't eat. I'll be honest. I did not eat. I packed like protein bars and like nuts. I had like a little water bottle and a Gatorade bottle with me. I never stopped to eat. I rarely stopped to use the bathroom. I was go, nonstop the whole, from when I landed Wednesday at noon to when I, finished my coverage Sunday night. I was just balls to the wall. I filmed some amazing stuff. I cannot wait to see Marvel or DC. What's the channel official alliance? Look, I mean, if you look at the background, it's mostly Marvel. Let's pull out a little bit. There's now a Peacemaker mask hiding right over there. That's Peacemaker's mask. So there's some DC stuff. There was some Batman stuff. So it's a mix. Obviously, right now, I feel like over the last couple of years, Marvel's been doing better. But now that James Gunn's taking over DC, man, I thought Superman was good. It was a good first step. And yeah, what up, Ginger? Hello from Northeast Ohio. Hi back. Percy Jackson, never heard of her. You guys are funny. So if it's okay with you, if you'll indulge me, I'd love to talk about my experience as a person who's been it's been a long couple days. As a person who's been covering cons for years and years and years, but this was my first San Diego Comic-Con, I can tell you it's different. It is very different. I've gone, to the big ones, include like New York Comic Con is considered, the second biggest con. And like total space wise for the convention floor, it's close. It's close. But there's so much more to San Diego than just the con floor. I was talking to people where I said going to San Diego Comic-Con, you can have a great weekend without even having a badge. And I see that now. Hey, Heath from Powers, Mississippi. What's up, man? I could never, if you said, hey, I want to go to New York Comic-Con but I don't have passes, you think it's worth it? I'd be like, hell no. New York Comic-Con's awesome. It's great. But is it worth it to go all the way to New York City and you don't have No, not even a little bit. San Diego, however, you'll have a blast with or without badges. Like, yeah, you can't get into the convention floor. You can't see the panels. You can't buy stuff. You can't walk the floor and things like that. But there's so much happening around the convention that's all free. You got to stand in line like everybody else, but it's all free. For me being in the media, there's so many different, like the different hotels they rent out the ballrooms and the different office spaces to do different things. I went to a presentation. Oh, we got to get into this. Do we got to get into this? We'll talk about this in a minute. But I went to a presentation that fucking blew me away, and it was like a quarter of a mile away from the convention center. There's activations all over the place, pop-up experiences, meet and greets, dinners, lunches, the after parties. Like, there's so much stuff you can do without needing a badge to go to San Diego Comic-Con. So for that reason alone, it's so much better than any other convention out there. Who did you meet there that made the event for you? Ooh, I feel like I'm being interviewed, Joe. Please send them, man. I love this. Who did you meet there that made the event for you? So many, so many. A couple of my highlights would be this toy presentation that we're definitely going to talk about because I need to talk about this thing. The video is being edited currently, apparently, from what I heard from the editors. They're working on the video soon. It'll be ready, and so I'll post that on the page soon, so you can see for yourself. But I got to talk about it. So we're gonna get to that. People wise, I met so many great people and really just so many great organizations and companies and things. I got to sit down with Norman Reedus and Melissa McBride and Scott Gimple and Greg Nicotero from Walking Dead. And we talked about season 3 of Daryl Dixon and how they announced that season 4 is going to be the last season. And we talked about that and his experiences. And I got to ask some questions. Unfortunately for that one, they didn't allow recording cameras, but I got the audio. So I told the editors, I said, hey, do what you can with the audio. We'll put up pictures and clips and things like that. But the audio should be pretty good. Outside of that, man, I got to talk to so many people. People that, if you know me, you know that like, oh, it's great to talk to these big famous people, but I'm also fascinated by like really the nuts and bolts of something. So like I sat down with the composer of Agatha All Along. I sat down with one of the editors of, oh God, what was it? Something I loved. Crap, I'm drawing a blank now. But I talked with editors. I talked with composers. I talked with, I talked to so many people. Let's see. Ooh, let me see. Hang on a second, because maybe we have a co-host. I don't know. Maybe we do. Maybe we don't. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's see if I can check this. Hang on one second. I got you, buddy. Hang on. Don't be a sourpuss. What's a Pop Culture Warrior episode if there are no technical issues, right? What is it even? All right, let me turn that off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, joining me tonight, his first appearance in a many moons, it's our good friend, Massey! Yay, what's up? I don't know what's going on with you, man. Uh-huh. You guys can't hear him? Uh-oh. Hang on. Speaking of it, oh, I know why. Sorry. Thank you guys for letting me know. That one is on my side. Because sometimes it switches. This platform, sometimes it switches when you have a thing. Go ahead, talk now.
How about now?
There we go.
All right.
They should be able to hear you now. All right. Yeah. Sorry about that. Appreciate you guys.
About that, guys.
It wouldn't be a good show if we didn't have some type of hiccup.
I feel like I am the bringer of technical problems whenever I'm.
No, that flag was firmly planted well before you joined WTF Nation Radio, right here in Pop Culture Warrior World. We proudly wear that banner. If it was a tab, it'd be like tech issues as a tab on my shoulder. The ladies that do sign language in the quarter of the broadcast. God bless. So we're just talking a little bit about Comic-Con. I was giving my wrap up. Feel free to ask questions as you think of them. The audience has been asking me questions. So the question was like, who did I met that like really wowed me? There is a toy that I do want to talk about that I got hands on. We'll get to that. One of the highlights was Robert Kirkman, the creator of Walking Dead, the creator of Invincible, creative so many different things. I got to sit down with him 3 different times, actually. Nice. One was he's coming out with a new comic called Skin Breaker, and it's with him and David Finch, who's a legendary Batman artist and a bunch of other things. And so they're doing Skin Breakers, so we got to sit down and talk about that. The other is, obviously, we talked a little bit about Walking Dead and Invincible, and then the other one is he's taking over the reins for what they're calling the Energon universe. It's a series of comics that are Transformers crossed with G.I. Joe and some other properties.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so he's taking over the reins as kind of like the lord of the decision making for that whole universe, and so I interviewed him on that. So it was great conversations. Very cool dude, and I kind of gave him a little bit of shit, and he kind of gave me a little. We have this kind of relationship. Me and Kirkman go back a ways. Where we'll just give each other shit for a lot of things. And you should see, like, there's this other members of the press, and they're like, oh my God, you're talking to him like that? And I'm like, I've known this guy since before Walking Dead. I became a fan of his back way back when he did a run of Fantastic Four in the Marvel Ultimate Universe, which is when it introduced Marvel Zombies. He was the guy people forget that created Marvel Zombies. So when you think Marvel Zombies, he launched that as part of like a side project that nobody cared about, and then became one of the biggest properties of Marvel for a while. And then that launched his Walking Dead career. So so we were busting each other's balls and stuff. And at one point I was interviewing for the Skin Breaker thing, and I'm like, all right, I got what I needed. Like, being that it's just launching, like issue 1 hasn't come out, which I might show you something a little bit there, but issue 1 hasn't even come out yet. So I was like, there's not much I can ask that's not spoilerish. So it was a lot of like fluff of like, oh, so what is it like designing a new universe, and what's kind of the thematically, what are we tonally talking about, and blah, 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 blah. So it was kind of running long, and I'm like, I've got what I need. So I we're all sitting at a table. So I very quietly kind of closed my book, grab my camera, take my mic, and I just slowly back away, and I get up to go. And literally everybody's looking at me as I'm leaving Robert Kirkman and the thing. And so I grab my bag, and then I hear him go, I guess he doesn't care what questions you guys have to ask. And I fucking look back at this motherfucker, and I went, listen, I'm going to the Walking Dead interview room to interview the show that gave you the power and authority to do this. That pays you to do this stuff. And he went, fair point. Go ahead. He's like, you're dismissed. And then the next day we were talking, we met again for the Energon stuff. And I was like, hey, are you going to give me shit today if I leave? And we were going back and forth, but it was a good time. We got some really good stuff. So that was good. So, getting to talk with Robert Kirkman. So like from a creator standpoint, that was a highlight for me. From an actor standpoint, getting to talk with Norman Reedus and Melissa McBride, that was awesome. From a voice talent, one of the last things I did, it was on Sunday afternoon. Like, we're all wiped out. Like, you can see it. Even the press, like in the press room, everybody's just kind of like, oh God, I just want to go home. Like, everybody's just wiped out and burned out. And I went to this press room for, it's called, what was it? God, I know the guy's name. Andrasi Doha. He's basically a legend within Disney. He created, like, he was the lead animator who created, like, Gaston in Beauty and the Beast, Jafar in Aladdin, Scar in The Lion King, Hercules. Like, he didn't animate the whole movie, but like he created, like, this is what they're gonna look like. He was the designer. Right. And to give you an idea of some of his original sketches, that's some of his, happens to be autographed. Just throw that out there. But a legend in Disney.
Muscular dudes. Gotcha.
Yeah, very svelty and smooth, and so I got to talk with him. And it just so happened he brought with him Jim Cummings. Jim Cummings is a legend in voice. He did Winnie the Pooh. He did Tigger. He did one of my all-time favorites, Darkwing Duck. The guy is a legend. And so I got to talk with him and interviewed some stuff with him and just the sweetest guy. But yeah, man, I got to talk to editors, composers, second ADs, creators, publishers. I spoke with CEOs, CFOs. Um, it was phenomenal. The experience was phenomenal from a creator standpoint, from a person who is passionate about this stuff and loves this stuff and can talk all day about this stuff. I did for 6 days straight, and my voice is almost gone. So that was all cool. Definitely did, I was telling everybody that I did the classic checklist. Okay, I walked the floor, got footage, B-roll of me walking the floor, interviewed people in cosplay, which there's some really funny ones. I can't wait for that video to come out. I attended panels, I did the pressers, I did the activations. Dude, there was Alien Earth, the wreckage. So it's a crash site that you have to go through, and there's the eggs are opening and there's broken pods and all types of shit. And you're going through these crevices. They had the King of the Hill backyard barbecue.
Oh.
So you're they built a small backyard in Arlen. There's the water tower and everything.
Yeah.
You play games, they give out stuff. They had some barbecue. They had some really, really cool stuff. Oh man, I forgot to bring the one thing. That's all right, whatever. If you like Abbott Elementary, the TV show, they had the Abbott Elementary block party with a Ferris wheel and a bunch of shit there. Adult Swim had the party on the green or something like that. A bunch of stuff there. Brawl Stars, which is Mr. Beast's video game thing. I don't know, toy line, whatever it is. What else? Yeah, Twisted Metal. Twisted Metal was there. They did a bumper car activation, which was awesome. I got a funny story about that. There was a Coca-Cola Star Wars crossover. There was an Old Spice Superman crossover. The list goes on and on. Dude, the Thunderbolts were there in a ice cream truck giving out free ice cream. Lilo and Stitch had a shaved ice stand. Dude, it was
God damn it.
And one of the coolest things, obviously, I'm a huge Spider-Man nerd. We've all covered this way back. I also grew up playing Magic the Gathering. They had this launch event for Magic the Gathering crossover with Spider-Man, which was awesome. They took over the Hard Rock Hotel, and they turned one of its conference rooms into a New York City street. So there was graffiti on the walls. There was a Daily Bugle. There was a deli and a bakery, all cardboard, whatever. But it was cool. And even though those cards don't come out until September 26th, I might have snagged a few decks. I might have snagged a few decks that don't come out for a couple months. That's just no big deal. Just
I've said it once since I first met you a few years ago. You are the biggest goddamn humble bragger of anyone I've ever met that walks the face. This show is basically pop culture humble brag warrior. That's this show. It's
CQ's pop culture humble brag warrior. Don't forget CQ's. Yes, Insomniac, the new Peacemaker. I didn't even mention Peacemaker had Peace Fest. They took over a nightclub and it was fucking epic. They had rock bands come out and jam hard. Fucking while I was there and I got footage of it, the drummer from System of a Down just jumped on stage and started just wailing on the drums. Yeah, it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy.
I will help you out because I know that there's only one of you and there's only so much sleep that you need that I will go with you next year and I'll cover the after parties for you.
Yes.
You can do all the daytime interviews, which is what you prefer doing, and I will sacrifice my evening time and my sleep to cover the after parties on your behalf.
You're a good man. I don't deserve you.
It's all for the cause.
Okay, so I'm just throwing this out there. I would love we do a WTF Nation Radio takeover. We get an Airbnb house. Everybody come out. Just everybody come out. Because here's the thing. Realistically, I'm going to get one press pass next year. Like, they're just really stingy with them things. It's hard to get.
Oh yeah.
I know people that they're like, yeah, we've been going 8, 9, 10 years, and they'll get 2, and that's all they get. So, but what I would love to do is we get the one press pass, and then, dude, when I say I worked every hour possible in that time, and I still maybe only covered a third of the convention of like what I could have if I had a team, maybe a quarter, because there were times where I'm like, all right, do I go to this panel or this press room? Do I go to this launch event or do I go to this gathering or this meetup?
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do. And honestly, I looked at my schedule. There were only 4 things over the 5 days that I had scheduled that took place inside the convention.
Yeah.
4 things. So obviously, if we want to cover more panels, we want to cover more booths and things like that, then yes, we need people in the convention. But dude, we bring the whole team out. I'm talking Nemo, you, Mad Mike, King, Coach, everybody come out. There's more than enough for everyone to do stuff and also get time to chill, right? And not be like me trying to kill yourself to be everywhere at once.
These fingers have some blasted, note taking to do on your behalf.
That's right. You'll be doing a lot of that. Photography, because you can have the photographers, you could have the videographers, you could have the interviewers, we could have the editors on site. That was the biggest challenge. Was every night I'd have to go back to my hotel and upload like 40 to 50 gigs over this shitty Wi-Fi to get it to the editors. That was the hardest part. So having the editors on site, you just give them the memory card and they're just like, so
sound bites, even audio editing on the fly, it'd be super easy. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, and there's so much, and you being into the music stuff, there's always like this year, there was a band that's like, and it was a big, man, I can't remember now because I said no to them very early on, but a pretty big name band that was like releasing their first comic book, like their stories. So like you could interview the band from a musical perspective and then, mix in like, how do you take the sound and make it come to life in an animated comic?
The last decade, it's very intertwined. It's like the dude, like Gerard Way, Chemical Romance is all, Umbrella Academy is all his stuff. And then Max Beamer from Say Anything was very involved in Marvel for a hot minute, writing for them and animating for them. Or not animating, but drawing for them. So there's, it's very intertwined on the back end of a lot of those guys, because
creative. And it's creative. It's all creative output, whether you're writing words for a song or writing words for a page or illustrating the cover for your album or illustrating the cover for a comic. It's all,
and all the best music and all the best comics and all the best art comes from a pretty fucked up place anyway. And so all these, there's this common thread, right? This commonality that runs through that people
trauma. Trauma breeds creativity.
Trauma and hatred. Yeah,
yes,
for sure.
Trauma, drug addiction, hatred, the usual. Alcoholism breeds creativity. A question came in, what was the coolest cosplay? There was some great cosplay this year. Off the top of my head, without like just gut reaction, there's 2 that stand out. One, and if you've been on social media at all, you probably saw him. Some dude built a Galactus, like, to scale. Like, this thing was massive. I'm imagining he must have been on some type of stilt system and had some type of exoskeleton underneath, but like it was just like boom, boom. Like there's people clearing the way for him to walk because he was so big. They had a person dressed as Silver Surfer, a regular sized human, which I think he like came up to their like maybe they're a little lower than the crotch of Galactus. That's how big this thing was, and so that was really cool. From a low tech standard, because like that had so much work probably had to go into that to create it. Like the head moved, the lights, the eyes lit up, the fingers moved, and it looked really, really fucking cool. From a low tech standpoint, what I thought was the most creative thing, I see this guy, and all you really see is like his feet, and I don't even think you see his hands. Think like a giant, like a toilet paper tube. You know what I mean? Like that,
Mhm.
the round tube that's in it. So think about a big one that your whole body's in, and it was gray and black, and I'm like, what is that? What, like almost like a trash can or I don't know. And then all of a sudden, like somebody was like, oh, can I take a picture? And he goes, okay. He goes, wait. And all of a sudden you hear click, and you hear zzzz, and this thing starts billowing out the top. And so you think like the wacky waveable thing, but it was rigid, and then it lit up, and I realized, oh my God, he's a lightsaber. He's he's a giant lightsaber, and it was so cool because it had to inflate first, but it was like so it's like very slowly. But once it inflated, it was kind of firm, giggity, and then it lit up, and like he was changing the color, so it would be red lightsaber, then it was a blue lightsaber, and this there was a George Lucas panel. First time. Think about how crazy this. First time George Lucas ever went to a panel at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, wow.
In his life, he had never done a panel, and he did a special panel, and it was about art and stuff. But this dude comes into the conference room fully erect, lit up, and I mean, imagine you're sitting behind that guy, the guy that's got.
That would be
It had to have been like 15, 16 feet high. Like it was huge. So just from a creativity standpoint and an engineering standpoint, I was just blown away by. I was like, in fact, during one of my interviews is when I see him, and I wonder if the editors are gonna work around it. But literally, you see me talking to the guy, and I'm like, yeah. So tell me, and I go, and like the mic starts leaving the guy's face because I'm just like,
yeah.
and I'm like, I'm so sorry. I am distracted by what looks like. And the guy's like, it's a lightsaber. It's a lightsaber. It's a lightsaber. I'm like, it's a very big lightsaber because it looks like it could be something else. So yeah, phrasing. Let's see. What was that? Did you see a guy dressed as Buddy the Elf at the panel? I know him. Oh yeah. I did see the Buddy the Elf at. I don't know if I saw him at the George Lucas panel. There was a panel I saw. I didn't see this, but I saw a clip of it. The guy dressed as Buddy the Elf went to the Toxic Avenger panel, which Toxic Avenger is starring Peter Dinklage. Now,
Oh, that's right. They are rebooting that, aren't they?
they did reboot it. You got to see the trailer. It's fucking out there. It is out there. But that's the Toxic Avenger. And
Okay.
so Peter Dinklage is doing it. And for those that don't remember, Peter Dinklage played a guy in the movie Elf. And he had a very angry interaction with Elf in that movie. And so in real life, this guy's dressed as Buddy the Elf, and he's at the convention, and everybody starts laughing, and Peter Dinklage is like, oh shit, we're gonna do this. And to his credit, the guy didn't ask anything about that movie. I think he asked him about like, oh, his approach to movie making, whatever. And even Peter Dinklage was like, really? We're not gonna talk about like my relationship to this costume. And they were like, no, just
I'm that guy.
like, yeah, just talk about something else. What up, Anubis? Anubis in the chats. What up? Okay, so we talked about that. We talked about what we covered. After parties were awesome. Can I say that this is the first time in my life that I went to a convention and not really counting food, because you gotta have food. I spent $0. I spent $0. I didn't buy anything. Now, I did come back with suitcases full of shit because they give so much shit away. But I didn't buy anything, which is like a record for me. I have a pot. Would you guys care to see some of the stuff that I brought back? And
I would adore to see
because I tell you what, there's like two things that I'm absolutely keeping because they're just so close to my heart, and I think the rest of it's gonna be giveaway. So let's go through the list. So we gave you a little tease earlier. This is obviously a print of Andres Doha, his Disney works. He did sign it. So that will be staying in the CQ autographed collection that is cherished. I don't know. Maybe I'll give it away. I don't know. We'll see. I don't have any more space to keep things. I do have a really good story for this one, so I'm going to save that. We still got to talk about the WoW Cube. We got to talk about the WoW Cube. Let's see. Random cool not cool, but random Dr. Squatch bar of soap. Just,
Okay.
Cool fresh aloe. We'll give that away.
Yeah, please do. You won't
It's a
believe me.
giveaway.
Not a fan of the Squatch. Great marketing though, back in the day.
Great marketing. So I went to an activation that was Old Spice and Superman. It's a weird combination, but their whole pitch was, smell like a hero. So they gave me this cool cut off sleeveless t-shirt.
Okay.
Very, very good fabric. It's that kind of meshy workout fabric. So we'll give that away. And the winner of that prize will also get a deodorant and a deodorizer. Hey-o! Only slightly used.
Yeah, Superman scented.
Superman scented, exactly. So there was that. That's another one. I got to interview. Remember Old Spice guy? Look at your man. Now look at me.
Yeah.
Look at me. His name is Isaiah Mustafa. I got to interview him. That was a really fun conversation. He did it in character. He did the whole interview in character. So he's like this the whole time, and he's like, "Yes, I do. Yes, that's right." And I was just like, "This is awesome. We're having fun."
That's got to be an exhausting character to stay into.
It's got to be
very proper, man.
Yeah,
all day.
and he's shirtless, and we were in the sun. Like he was shirtless in the sun with a sweater, like the sweater over his shoulder kind of look. It was wild. So we showed the Magic the Gathering Spider-Man cards, which is awesome. Let's talk about the Alien activation, which was pretty cool. They gave out a ton of shit at the Alien activation. So first off, you get one of these. This is a Hyper Fizz from Prodigy Corp, lab grown orange Nova flavoring. Let me tell you, this is the most delicious thing I've ever drank in my life. It is.
You might want to turn where the F is fully visible.
It is. Hyper is. It says Orange Nova, notes of orange cordial, green tea, and vanilla.
Ooh.
It's damn good. It's when I say
I love orange juice.
It's damn good. I drank two of them. Two of them are open. I drank one. I was like, I kind of want to keep one sealed. Not that I'm gonna end up drinking it later, but I just think it'd be a cool like prop. Because I have, back there I have like the Nuka Quantum Cola from Fallout. So I thought, that'll be a good look for that. So with the Alien, they also gave out, let's see, this Alien Earth pin. It's the US CSS Magnet. So that's, I don't know if I can get the lighting on that, but it's just a cool pin from one of the ships. Some stickers. Then they gave you like one of these, I don't know what you call it, like little notebook. Yeah, notebook. Yeah. It's a grid notebook.
Oh,
so it's be a good sketchbook. And on the front it says patent checks K1 hybrid basic anatomy and physiology. And it's Alien Earth notebook.
Okay.
Pretty cool. And then there's still more stuff. A different type of pin, which is the Prodigy Corp logo, is another pin. Then there was the Alien Earth blue LED flashlight. This is a blue LED flashlight. And there's a key card holder with my own personal ID badge. For when I go to space, I got my own ID badge now.
I love lanyards and ID. That's one of my favorite things from any type of cons and conventions and shows, like trade shows. I love lanyards.
There were so many. There were so many this year. I'll send you some. There's so many. And then the last thing from Alien Earth, which I think is really cool. A lot of people have seen this. Is kind of like the poster. It's the alien like biting down.
There you go.
On the Earth. So what they did was, it's a jawbreaker. That looks like the Earth, but that is a giant jawbreaker. God bless whoever tries to ingest that, because
I could get that shit in your mouth.
it is big. It is big.
Yeah.
So we'll be giving away that stuff. Oh my God, so much stuff.
Yeah.
Dump this all over here. I'll pick it up later. From the Paramount Plus, The Lodge. You got one of these cool little The Lodge passes.
Oh.
They had a cool little activation. I guess there's a show on there called Landman. I haven't heard of it.
Okay.
But they gave out these cool leather koozies with the logo, as well as a mug with the logo. And I
Nice.
guess like in the show, the company's called M-Tex Oil or whatever. So
Dude, I'm
you
so
got-
jealous of your show swag.
It's just a bunch of shit. It's just a bunch of shit. So many things. There's something else from Paramount. I think Paramount also had like one of those, the little lanyard pull things, you know, where it's like zzz, and it pulls back the lanyard. So there was that. I'm not sure where that went.
Nam one year. It'd be dope.
For Nam, like Vietnam?
No, Nam, the giant music show in Nashville every year.
Oh.
It's the Comic-Con of the music world.
Send me the link. I'll get press passes for it.
I'll make tons of content for you.
Yeah, I got you. Thunderbolts gave out stickers and pins at their ice cream truck, so that's there. I was walking by the eBay booth. They gave me a pin. Whatever. That's one. All right. So I didn't bring it down with me because I'm an asshole. But the King of the Hill activation, they did give out koozies, Alamo beer can koozies, which are nice. But they had this cool hat making station where they had 5 colored hats and then like 5 different patches, and you could select it and they would press it and that was yours. I got 3 of them. So I got one that's yellow and it's Dale's Dead Bugs, classic. I got one that was, I think it was the Alamo beer, I think in blue. And then I think I got a green one that was like Sugarfoots, which was the restaurant they used to go to all the time. So I got 3 hats. They'll give all those away. Some more pins and notebooks and coloring supplies. That was at an after party. The Peace Fest bandana. There you go. You got a Peace Fest bandana plus the head I'm keeping because plus if you ship it, it'll be crushed. I had to wear that through the airport because I couldn't it's made of plastic. I put that in my bag. It's crushed and useless. So I said, well, fuck it. I guess I'm just walking through the airport as Peacemaker. So yeah, I get to keep that because I embarrassed myself for it. So suck it, nerds. Sacrifice. A Speed Racer bandana. Speed Racer, that's a thing. This Dexter Resurrection. I don't know. It's like a tablecloth. Like it's a thick canvas material, but maybe it's like a kitchen towel, right? Like
drop cloth.
Yeah, I mean, basically it's a drop cloth, but it's like only yay big. It's not super huge. But yeah, it's like it's kind of that material like if you're painting and you would throw down like the those thick canvas thing, whatever. Anyway. From the Neopets after party, which we had, I think the creator of Neopets on, or one of the people. There's just a bag full of like stickers and there's the Paramount Lodge fucking
Nice.
So there's a bunch of Neopet stuff, nice little canvas bag. There's that. This is a bag from the Mr. Beast Star Park Brawl Stars experience, which had a bunch of stickers and codes and things. And speaking of lanyards! Oh my god!
If you me a Mr. Beast lanyard, I'll break up with you. I don't know why. I can't even put it. I have such a deep loathing for Mr. Beast and everything he does. So it's like my
jealousy.
loathing for Marvel shows. No, it's the same hatred I have deep down for that.
It's called jealousy.
No, it's not jealousy. there's something there. One day, some shit's gonna come out. Everybody's gonna be like, "Oh, he did that." And I'm like, "Yeah, I told you. There's
Yeah.
something fucking wrong there."
Yeah, he was chopping up babies in the
Yeah.
basement somewhere.
Adrenochrome and fucking he was sleeping with fucking Hillary Clinton for years or some shit like that.
One of the interviews I did was at this place called the Symbiote Studios, which I just thought was a really badass name. Turns out they make plushies. Sometimes the name doesn't really match the vibe,
Right.
but nice people, super cool. Did a great interview with them, and I was like, all right, cool. Wrapped it up. I think it's online now. You can see it. It's already posted. But as I was leaving, he goes, "Oh, let me give you something." I was like, "No, you don't. I don't need a plushie." He's like, "No, you gotta give you something. You did the interview. You helped us out." So I got this guy.
Oh,
Transformers, more than meets the eye. That's just two-sided Transformers. Officially licensed. It's officially licensed. Plushies. So we'll put that out there somewhere. Let's see. A couple more items. Hang in there. So the Abbott Elementary block party was very cool. They had lots to do. One of the cool items was you could pick a fanny pack or a hat, and they would put your name on it because they called it the lost and found. So you could claim items. And so I had one of the block parties made for Abbott Elementary. I don't know if you're going to be able to see it very well, but it says, "This item belongs to," and I had them write,
cool.
WTF Nation, because radio didn't fit. So one of the WTF Nation faithful will win this cool, you could use it as a fanny pack, as a purse, as a clutch, as a tote, whatever you want to use it for. There you go. There's that. I did have the King of the Hill hats. I forgot to bring that. I have a story with this one, so I'm going to save that one for last. Abbott Elementary pin, because you got to have pins for everything. And stickers and cards and let's see. Oh yes. Now we're getting into some good stuff. One of the interviews I did was with, like I said, Robert. No, that's not Robert Kirkman. Sorry. That one's not Robert Kirkman. But one of the interviews I did was this really cool interview for those that might remember this. So like back in the 90s, Magic the Gathering was gaining popularity. So was Pokemon. But there was a card game out there from like 96 to, I want to say, 2001 that got real hot and then kind of fell off. It was called Marvel's Overpower. I think it was Overpower. Yeah, Overpower. It's a card game. Just like any other card game, you would have your Marvel characters and they would have like energy cost and intelligence and whatever. And then you battled to see who was the best. Well, there's a new team behind it, and they're bringing it back, and now it's called Overpower Rising. It's not affiliated with Marvel anymore. Possible IP later, but right now they are partnered with Skybound. So you've got Invincible, you've got Walking Dead, you've got a bunch of different universes. They're partnered with like the HP Lovecraft family, so they're gonna be like Cthulhu and a bunch of other monsters. And he said, we can't announce anything else yet, but stay tuned because, there's going to be some really cool announcements and, cowabunga, dude. And I was like, oh, okay. So they did give me one of these promo cards. There's a Rex Splode for the people and for you. So Rex Splode with his 7 energy, 5 combat, 3 brute force, and of course, a 2 intelligence. Because he's a big old dum-dum. But yeah, and it's very cool. It's coming 2026. So I've got a promo card a year early, and we'll be giving that out to the audience. Overpower Rising, the card game. That's dope. What else? A couple other games and things. I have one of the official guides of Comic-Con, the official event guide. Give that away to somebody if they want it. What's really cool is on the back, full page ad. Remember Heavy Metal? You remember that?
Yes,
Heavy Metal's coming back. Heavy Metal's coming back. And I'll say this. I had myself a nice little lunch with the co-owner of the new Heavy Metal. And we had a lovely lunch. So much so that he invited me to lunch the next day to introduce me to some other people. And I didn't record any of that because that was, private conversations. But I will say they gave me a bunch of stuff to give away, including issue number 2.
What?
Which apparently goes for $20. So
That's
and
rad, dude.
Heavy Metal is back, boy. Let me tell you, it is back with a vengeance. So we got Heavy Metal. I got issues 1, 2, and 3 because Heavy Metal's teaming up with. It's called Gen 7 Creations. Is the other company that's kind of part of them now. So issues 1, 2, and 3 of The Rescuer. What else they give me? They gave me. There's Genesis 2 Origins. So I got 2 issues of that and an entire collection, a thick book collection. We'll be giving that stuff away. And this is not the cover of the comic. This is just to protect young eyes from the comic. It literally has instructions on the back how to remove this from the comic. I cannot show you this on screen. Let's just go. It is called, I'll show you this after the show, but it is called Annabelle and the Cannibal. Annabelle and the Cannibal. It is graphic. There's a warning on the front that says adults only. 3 outrageous tales of sex, violence, and flesh eating.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot. Which some lucky. Whew, that's a lot. That's a lot. I've got a Speed Racer number 0.
Oh man.
Yep. I've got Biker Mice from Mars number 1. They're relaunching Biker Mice from Mars. So Mice from Mars for number 1 is all giveaway stuff. And from Divine Dough Works, what could this be? It's all wrapped up all nice. That's an Amazing Spider-Man homage number 1. This is the Magic the Gathering variant edition covered comic classic. And it's a comic, but it also I think it has some promo cards in it. They had the little magic logos. You can barely see them, but they're there.
That will be DQ's collection.
And the last comic is because we talked about it. Robert Kirkman launching Skinbreaker, issue number 1, signed by Robert Kirkman himself.
That's one that not open ever.
There you go. So these are mostly giveaway items. I'll say most of them are going to be giveaway items. And there's some other stuff like there's little cards and stickers and things like that. I'm not going to showcase them now. But there's one last item I will talk about.
Okay.
And it is in this little baggie. So a little story time for you folks. Buckle up.
Okay.
So I'm doing the con. I'm running around a school for ants. Beavis and Butthead are going to be busy whacking in a long shit. Jesus Christ. Everyone had magic cards. Meanwhile, I had Pogs. Yeah, man. Pogs they're trying to make Pogs a thing again. I don't know who's going to do it, but they're trying. Okay, so I'm doing the con. I'm running around. I'm taking pictures. I'm posting stuff. And I get a buddy of mine reach out. And he's like, hey, man, are you big into Magic the Gathering? And I said, I mean, I used to be. I know it. I played it. I used to be. Not so much anymore. He goes, all right, cool. Then can you go? They're giving away this promo card. Can you go pick it up for me? And I was like, all right, well, tell me where it is and what it is, because obviously I hadn't heard about it at that point. He goes, oh, it's at the Petco Park activation. It's like a whole little activity zone, whatever. I said, all right, cool. So I roll by there, and there are thousands of people in line. And I'm like, what the I'm like, I am not standing in line to get some card for someone else. So I'm like, I took a picture. I said to the guy, I'm like, dude, I'm not doing that. I'm not. Like, I talked to some people in line. They had been there for like 4 or 5 hours in line, and they weren't even close to the front. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. And he goes, oh, he's smart because he knows how to play me. He's like, oh, I didn't realize you couldn't do it. And I was like, oh, wait, hold on. I was like, hold on a second. I didn't say I can't do it. I just said I got other things to do. And he's like, look, man, if you can't do it, just say you can't do it. It's not a big deal. And I went, are you issuing me a challenge that I can't get this card? And he goes, hey, man, it is the hardest to get free item at Comic-Con this year. So obviously it's too much for you. And I went, challenge accepted. Okay. That now it's on. And I've got all this on film too, because I was like, fuck it, if I'm gonna do this, I'm also gonna film me doing it. So that was on Friday afternoon. Saturday, I had so many things scheduled. By the time I went there, they had already kind of like capped it. There was no way to get in. So I was like, fuck it. So Sunday, it came down to Sunday, it was my last shot. I get down there early, not super early. I mean, just like an hour before it opens. It opens at 10, I got there at 9. First thing I do is I go to the front of the line and I say, who's been here the longest? Obviously, the guy in the front of the line has been there the longest. And he's like, yeah, me. I said, cool. I was like, hey, man, I'm with the press. Do you mind if I interview you? He goes, no, not at all. So I started interviewing him. I'm like, hey, what time did you get here? 3:30 in the morning.
Holy shit.
He got there for this guy. And I'm like, and you realize it doesn't open until 10. He goes, yep. And I was like, I said, look, and no judgment, dude, but to me, that seems like something you're going to try to sell and not try to keep. And he goes, absolutely. And I was like, oh, that's fair. Way to be honest. So I asked him, I was like, how much do these cars go for? He goes, well, with the rarity of this, it was only being given away at this event at San Diego Comic-Con, not to be reprinted. He goes, I think the card will be minimally, you can get about $150 for it. And I'm like, holy shit. I was like, but still, that's 3:30 to 10, that's 7, almost 8 hours of your life for $150. I'm like, it's not a great return, but whatever. Right. So I said, okay, so I wanted people to see me interviewing, right? And to see me, oh, he's a press member. So then I was like, all right, cool. I'm gonna, and what I did was I did one of those like shots of like the whole line. So I like ran the whole line, which wrapped around the block. By the time I got there, wrapped around the block, now around another block, zigzags through a parking lot, goes under a bridge, and goes down another 2 blocks. And I'm like, by the time I got to the end, I was like, holding up the camera, doing the thing. And then I asked the person, hey, how long have you been here? He goes, I just got here like 5 minutes ago. And I was like, do you realize the guy in the front has been here since 3:30 in the morning? He's like, fuck that. I was like, do you think you're going to get the card? And he goes, I don't know. I hope. But anyway, all right, cool. So I go back to the front. At this point, it's about 15 minutes before opening. There's still nobody there, like from security or whatever. The gates are closed. They're on the inside of this thing. I see a small opening in that gate. And I'm like, make way. I'm squeezing through. And I fucking climb over the gate into where the people are standing. And then I squeeze myself into this little opening, get to the other side. And immediately there's a security guard right there. He's like, sir, get back onto the other side. I said, whoa. I said, hey, man, I showed my badge. I'm with the press. And see, by the way, I've been picking up terminology from press people. So I was like, listen, man, I need to get some clean shots. A clean shot means a shot of what it looks like before there are people there. So I was like, I just need to get some clean shots. I said, I'm just going to run around real quick. And he's like, he said, let me talk to my boss. And he brings over his supervisor and he comes in. And he's, hey, introduce yourself. I'm like, hey, man, yes, James, I see your comment, man. Thank you. I said, hey, I just need to get some clean shots. And I said, and then I started making up shit. I'm like, I'm going to do a turnaround reveal shot. So that way, like, as you guys open the gates, the people pour in, I'm getting that shot, to see the energy. And he's like, oh, yeah. Okay. He's like, let me make a call. He makes a call. I'm like, fuck. All right. God. Finally, he goes, all right, yeah, man, they said you're good. And I was like, cool. I was like, do you want to escort me around so that people, nope, you're good. Go ahead. And I'm like, I'm in. And so I start running around because there's like 8 or 9 pop-up things other than like the one thing that everybody wants. So what I did was I started going around filming, and I would hey, I'm with the media. I'm granted permission to film. So I just wanted to introduce myself so you know who I am. Right. I interviewed and I did that for everything except where the card was. I'm laying the groundwork. It's all about planning. And now with about 5 minutes left, I go to where the card place is. I say, hey, you probably see me running around. I'm filming. So I'm just going to get some clean shots around the side. She goes, yeah, no, that's fine. I said, hey, obviously, you guys know, like, this is the hottest item of the convention. And you go, yeah, man, it's a lot of people, wanting to do this. I said, cool. My plan is they're going to open the gates. I want to get film of them running in. And then I said, because then there's like a separate line once you get in to get in line for the card. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get them coming in, and then I'm gonna wait for that line to fill up because then I want to show it full and you guys giving out cards, and I'm gonna film all that. I'm gonna get reaction shots. And she's like, yeah, no, that's great, that's great. I said, hey, if you want, do you have media people here on site? And she goes, yeah, we had somebody taking pictures, but that was yesterday, whatever. I said, hey, I'm a pretty good photographer and videographer. It's like, I'll get you some film of everything and I'll send it to you guys. Oh, that'd be great. Like, you're building up that relationship. And finally, I got the shot of, and I think it's going to end up being a really good video, but I got the shot of them pouring in, including the first guy being like, yes, he's running in. I got the line, and I waited for about 10 minutes. They had been giving out cards for about 10 minutes. I'm getting the shots. I'm going around. I'm hyping up the crowd. I'm like, come on, people, cheer. And everybody's I'm freaking out. And so, I'm taking the shots and, getting everybody hyped and whatever. And so finally, I'm dripping sweat at this point because we're out in the sun. It's hot as fuck. And finally, I'm telling the lady, I said, I think I got everything. I said, oh, what would be a really cool shot is if, like, put me in the front of the line and we'll do like a POV as if the person watching was in line and they'll step through, they'll get the thing. And whatever. And she goes, oh, yeah, no, that'd be great. I said, perfect. So she puts me right in the front of the line. I line up my shot. I walk through. They give like a bag and then a thing. And then they gave me the magic card. I said, thank you. I took it and I booked it out of there. And I was like, yes. And that, ladies and gentlemen, challenge accepted, challenge completed. That is your promo Katara the Fearless, Magic the Gathering, crossed over with Avatar, the hottest, hardest to get item in San Diego Comic-Con 2025. And there you go. I got one. So
had you gotten two, I'd be impressed.
I'll be right back. Hang on a second.
One for your friend and one for a giveaway, bro. Come on, where's your heart for the fans?
I know. Yeah, I am gullible, or not gullible. Like, I am to a point where, like, you throw down a challenge, I'm gonna complete it. Now, the thing that makes sense is to say, screw that guy, and I'll do a giveaway or something like that. But I also have integrity, and I'm one of those guys. Like, I said I was gonna do it, and I'm gonna do it. And plus, he's a good dude. He's a good dude. Last thing I'll talk about, because I know you're probably sick of me talking about Comic-Con by now. I'll talk about one last thing, and it's important. There's a reason why I want to talk about it. And then we'll talk a little bit about Fantastic Four. Have you seen Fantastic Four, by the way?
Man, it's been on the list. I saw Superman with the kid a couple weekends ago, and I have not. I've been traveling so much for work. I have not had a chance to get out
We won't spoil anything.
It doesn't bother me. The spoilers do not bother me at all, dude. I have two teenagers. They spoil my life. Like,
my life is spoiled.
It's fine. It's fine.
All right. So before we do that, last thing from San Diego Comic-Con, unless there's questions, if you guys have questions, feel free to ask. I have this. Very innocuous. Doesn't look like much. It says Rubik's, obviously, because it's from the Rubik's Cube family. This is just simply, you twist it, and it's a USB drive.
Okay.
Yeah, USB drive.
Not a big deal. USB port I spy on the end of that? Okay.
Yeah, yep, that's the USB port. So it's just a USB drive. This was just a little gift from them because it has some assets on it. As I was setting up my schedule and I was looking at the things I was invited to, one of the things I was invited to was this thing called the Rubik's Wow Cube. Now, I've always had a fascination with Rubik's Cubes. I'm not one of those autistic geniuses that can solve one, but I've had a fascination with them, and I've played with them hundreds of times, obviously, and different versions, like the gyroscope one and the 20-sided one and the 2-sided one. Like, I have the triangle. I have like a triangle tree one that's like a Christmas one. It's crazy. So I have a history with Rubik's, but I'm looking at the press release for this thing. They're like, hey, we have this new thing called the Rubik's Wow Cube, and I'm reading it. And basically what I get from the gist of the release is that think of a Rubik's Cube, but they're all screens. So it's not, it's like your iPhone screen. So each square is like its own little iPhone. You know what I mean? Okay. So it's meant to be digital. It's a digital, which I was like, okay, it's a It's a digital, so it's something I'll have to plug in. It's something that like if I drop it, it's gonna break. And like I was like, I don't get the appeal of it. But they had it at 10 a.m., which is like one of the earliest times you can get for anything during San Diego Comic Con. And it was on a day that I didn't have anything else to do at that time. And they were like, we're going to have food and snacks and drinks provided. So I was like, what the hell? I'll go. Because, free food, snacks, drinks, and I had nothing else better to do. But I literally said, like, if I get invited to anything else at that time slot, I'm going to cancel this.
Right.
Boy, am I glad I didn't. They proceeded to do a presentation on the Rubik's Wild Cube and kind of how it came to be, which was impressive all on its own. But then we got to play with it. They have their prototypes there. This is not a device that's coming out until Christmas this year.
Okay.
But when I tell you, I think, and this is not hyperbole, I think it will be the must-have Christmas toy this season, and that by next year, it will be the highest selling toy of the year.
Okay.
It is that magnanimous. The jump in technology and what it can do. Think about when you had your last cell phone, not smartphone, your last cell phone, like the Nokia, with the push buttons, and you had to text by pressing the buttons multiple times. Think about your last one, and then think about your first iPhone or Android or smart tablet, or that first, like the jump in technology, you know what I'm saying? Like the jump in what it could do. That's the kind of level we're talking about here. And I apply that as well because very early on, it was like, I remember my first iPhone. I was so excited. I got the little beer drinking app where you would like tilt the phone and it looked like you're drinking beer. Like all this amazing tech in there, or the whip, right? And that was like, oh my God, this is the most incredible thing. But obviously, because people needed time to really develop for the technology, that's what I feel about this cube. This cube is a blank canvas that is going to revolutionize how we interact with things. So a couple things about it. Obviously, envision, a Rubik's Cube. Well, each cube is now basically its own computer. It has its own battery, its own CPU, 3 different, displays, and a speaker, and it runs on magnets. That's how they connect, is through magnets. So you can literally pull it apart and put it back together.
Okay.
Can it play the Rubik's Cube game? Yes, it can, but that's the easiest thing it does. You can put it on your desk and it'll give you time, weather, stocks. Like it could be an information board. You can set it to ambiance and it does colors, kaleidoscope, like a kid's nightlight. You can set it to aquarium mode and there's little fish swimming around it. And like you can grab one of the cubes and the fish that's inside it is now stuck in that little cube.
That's cool.
It can't get out. And then you put it back and then he swims out to the other cubes. And it's instantaneous. I got to play with this in my hands. I got to feel it and touch it, and that changes everything. There are puzzle games where it's like you have to swipe it and move. It's not just like the Rubik's match colors. It's like shapes. You're matching shapes and moving things. But then it gets even more and more advanced. Remember the old plastic like maze, and you had the little ball and you're trying to get it through that? So it can do that because it has accelerometers and gyroscopes inside of it. So you literally tilt and the ball rolls, and you tilt it rolls the other way. And then, so like I'm going to tilt the ball to this side, change to find the other patterns to roll the ball forward and continue on. But then he goes, watch this. And the ball's in the one corner. So he pulls it off, puts it down, and the ball's just kind of rolling around in that cube. Right. And you can reshuffle the maze around, take that ball back and put it where you want it. And now it's there in the maze from that point. Like, that's awesome. It's crazy. They had one where, it's like a dungeon crawler. So you have like a little man and you would like twist up to make him go up, twist down to make him go down, twist left and right to make him walk around. And you're like, it's like a D&D campaign. So you're interacting with all the different things. Dude, and the coolest thing they said was that like, this is going to be all open source. The SDK is going to be available. The API is going to be available. You can connect it to anything else you want to connect it to. Connect it to your Alexa device. Connect it to your whatever. You can have your crypto stuff on there. You can, he said, connect it to your computer. You can be playing Fortnite, and it can be an inventory block where you see how many bullets you have, how many grenades you have, how many health items you have, and it's just feedback display. You can use it as
they'll eventually have that touch screen, so you can swipe up or on it, and it'll make it
exactly. It's tap sensitive, shake sensitive, tilt sensitive, twist sensitive, like. And eventually, he was telling me like the future they're gonna put in the haptic feedback. So he goes like when you roll it and the ball bumps on that wall, you'll feel it boom, like you'll actually get the feedback.
Dude, I'm stoked to see what Pornhub's gonna do with this thing.
Dude, so one of the things, let's talk about from a story. Let's talk about storytelling perspective.
Yeah,
storytelling perspective. They said like he goes, here's an example of what we got, and it's like you twist the start, and then it's like a page of a manga, and it's like these two characters going, and then it's like, does he go left or does he go right? And it's a choose your own adventure as you're manipulating the cube. And then like, you know, you'll see the guy punch him through the cube. So you have to flip the cube on the other side and you see him crashing out.
Yeah. That's awesome.
They have like, you could do like almost like a hologram where you put it on your desk and you'll have a 3D image that as you tilt the cube, it's rotating the 3D image. It's
set that bitch on a mirror and have a full 3D fucking.
Oh my God. It is so amazing. And then they said that through their app, and we did a demo of this. We're sitting there and the guy goes, pick something. He goes, just pick an IP, pick a whatever. And I guess one of the ladies that was there was like a mom. She's like, Paw Patrol. And he goes, okay, that was a random, but all right. And he literally opens the app and he's like, swipe, 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 grabs an image of Paw Patrol, puts it in. And he goes, all right, what's this Paw Patrol thing doing? And they're like, he's trying to get, bones or cookies or whatever it was. And he's like, all right, swipe, 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 grab, grab, grab. But in 5 minutes, he had created a game that you could play on the cube and try to get the dog through the thing to get the bone. He's like, it's that easy. You just,
that's crazy.
Boom, you've created it. He's like, you want a widget? You want an app? You want it to tell you the weather? Whatever. It's like, it's just a couple swipes on the app and it's done. And it does, it could be an alarm clock. It could be anything you want it to be. And then, I'm not supposed to be talking about these things, but one of the things, like they said, as kind of a future state thing is like, because each of these cubes can live on their own, they're their own computer. He goes, he takes all the cubes, breaks them down and puts them flat on the table and kind of lines them up. He goes, you now have a game board. Like you could play checkers or chess. And because they connect side to side and it works, like the cube knows what shape it's in and how it's being connected and everything. And, dude, they said they're like, it took us 8 years to develop this because there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. They're like, they have 25 patents. They're like, they had to write the code because there's no code that's meant to control 24 screens at the same time with interlocking and any change and movement. It's incredible. It's the coolest fucking thing.
And you tell me there's no fucking aliens, goddammit. Shit out of those things.
Dude, it's the Borg. Yes, it's the Borg. It is so fucking cool. And I'm very fortunate because, there was like 10 of us, no, maybe even less. It was like 8 or 10 of us, and we're getting our hands on it. And everybody was like, oh my God, it's so cool. I want one, blah, blah, blah. And then they kind of left. And I really nerded out hard on this thing. I'm talking to first I was talking to the PR lady, then the CEO comes over because he hears me talking and we start talking. And then like I'm pestering him with questions. I'm like, okay, but what about this? And what software is it running in? Okay, and what's the how's the thermal release of the thing? And he goes, okay, he goes, if you want to talk really technically, and he waves over, he goes, this is our lead tech guy. He's the guy that like really puts it all together. And he goes, you guys can just nerd out. And bro, I stayed there for an hour talking with this guy and just about like all the concepts and what it could do and all the applications. This could be used for fucking STEM programming. It could be used for therapy, right? You could like work through trauma with this thing and guided meditation.
Right.
Like there's so many things. I actually gave him an idea for a game. I said, well, I don't want to give it away because this is my idea, but there's a game. I was like, if you do it this way, like that could be a game, and then you do this thing. And he goes, oh my God, we're gonna do that. That'll be available week 1. Like that's gonna be included with it. That's a genius idea. And I was like, thank you.
Damn.
I was like, thank you. I'll take my check anytime you want to give me a dude. I'm so in on this. I literally asked the CEO, is there any way I can come on as an investor? Like that's how in on this I am, where I'm like, these guys are going to be rich. These guys are rich. Now, the con of it all is it ain't going to be a cheap toy.
No,
Probably it's not, it doesn't have a price point yet, but the best guess somewhere between $200 and $300, which
that's not as bad as I was
for
thinking.
the amount of technology that's in it is peanuts. And then the last question I asked him, I said, what I'm holding here, is this what we're getting in Christmas? Like, is it just this? And he goes, no. He goes, this is the prototype we've been using for like a year or two and really developing. He goes, the one that's going to production right now and will be ready for Christmas, he goes, is 10 times better. It's the glass, the glass screens are better. The software's better. The speakers are better. The battery's better. The heat sink is better. Like, he's like, this is just what we use to play with and to show and to give people the concept. But he goes, the actual final product is even better. And I'm like, I'm fucking sold. I'm sold. But
so you heard it here first then. Like this is breaking fucking shit for
breaking news. And I will say this. It's going to sound like a humble brag. It's not meant to be. We're just talking facts, cold hard facts. We geeked about it so long that at the end of it, I was like, look, I really do have to go. I had already missed one thing and I was like, I don't care about that thing, but I was like, I'm bumping up on a second thing. I got to go. But we exchanged cards and everything. And the engineer and the CEO, they looked at me and they're like, obviously you love this thing. You get what we're trying to do. You're as passionate about it as we are. We'd love to send you one before it releases so that you can do some review videos, so that you can give us honest feedback of where we might be able to improve some things. And he's like, we'd love to send you one. And he's like, maybe we can send you one to give away. And I was like, you had me at sending me one. Like, but yes.
He's really disgruntled. He's a dick and he hates everything. He would probably be a really good reviewer too.
Yes, it'd be great for this. But no, so they will be sending me one. It probably won't be until like October, November. I'm going to assume like a month or two before the release, not anything more than that.
Bro. Like 2 months away. That's not far.
So I've been dreaming about it. I've been taking notes of like, okay, I could totally design a really cool app for this. And like, I've been doing notes and like, there's going to be ranked leaderboards. There's going to be, an online service so that you can download, like people can create games. And then it's like the App Store, right? People will be able to create games and then you can download them and everything. They will have licensed games, so like Cut the Rope and, Paper Mario, I don't know, whatever, but they'll have licensed games on there. It is, like I said, and I'm standing on this, I think it will be the must-have toy for this Christmas. And I think by next year, once people can really get their hands on it to truly understand what it is and what it can do, it'll be the best-selling toy of probably the next year or 2 years. Because it's like, again, when you had your cell phone and you saw an ad for the first iPhone and you're like, okay, it's a phone without buttons. Big deal. Like you couldn't understand just what it could do without actually physically interacting with it. And I definitely think that's this. I don't know how they're going to market it, but I'm going to assume they're going to get a lot of influencers to play with it. So you're going to be seeing a lot of people playing with them, because I think that's what you need to see. You need to see how people interact with it to really understand what it is.
You are an influencer, sir. You are.
I'll take content creator, influencer. I don't know. I don't feel like I don't have much influence.
You influence me every day.
to anger, to jealousy, to yes.
Yes. That's influence. That's influence.
Oh man. He said, is it nuclear powered? No, it's 1.21 gigawatts. No, it is. So because it's all magnets, you have this little RGB stand, like it looks like a coaster basically, and you just put it on that, and through the magnets it charges. So like it charges as it's sitting there and displaying, and honestly, like when I saw it, I didn't like it has more weight to it than I thought. Like it, not that it's heavy, but it it looks very like plasticky small. Yeah, but it has some weight to it, and it does get warm, right? Because this is obviously screens all across the front of it. Doesn't get hot. Never. I played with it for like an hour. God, someone clip this. I played with it for like an hour, and it never got hot in my hands. Like it stayed about the same heat.
Really got fucking hard.
Really good. No, like it definitely is warm. I would imagine like it's like holding a human heart. Like it has some weight, and it's kind of warm, less sticky, I'm assuming. But yeah, it was. I can't wait for you guys to see the video. The editing crew is working on a whole package for it with assets, and again they gave us this cool little drive stick that has a bunch of assets and videos and pictures. But I shot a bunch of hands-on. I talked to the CEO. I talked to the lead tech guy, and man, that became my surprise of San Diego 2025. Like biggest surprise. I was not expecting it. It shocked me to no end. So yeah. Oh, I got a message. What is the message? Post a teaser if you want to flash it on screen. It's come. Oh. Do we have a teaser? Oh, look, my editor's doing God's work. Let's see if we have a teaser. We gotta find draft cuts. We got a teaser. Oh man, shit. Let me download that for a second. But yes, while that's downloading, what are your thoughts? How good did I do a job of selling it? Did I sell it well?
I think you sold it well, and I'm excited about it, hearing about it now. As a fellow nerd and somebody that likes tech and shit, and because I work in the DV LED side, like micro LED and all of that stuff. So that stuff's fascinating to me. So yeah, that's super cool. And I immediately go to wonder if my company on the chip side of things on that side makes any of the components to that. And I'm just curious about some of those things. So, yeah.
Shit.
Anyway,
you never know.
Cool.
You never know. All right, let's do this. I think it's almost ready. I'm going to transform it to fit the screen.
While you're doing that, side note, I have a dope guest idea for you that I have a contact with that I'll let you know after the show. Remind me. I'm saying I'll forget. And it's coming up on the season for it. So,
Gotcha. All right. Let me set this so that you can see it as well, because I want you to be able to see it as well as the audience. Yeah. So give me 1 second. I'm going to switch the feed so you're going to see what the audience sees. So let's do that. Switch to that and switch to that. Now you have the audience view, and then I'm going to give you the audience soundtrack, which should be audience. There you go. So now you can hear it like the audience can. So let's play it. I'm not going to be able to hear it because that's just not how my shit set up. Huh? What?
I'll mute on my
You don't do it. All right. So let's see how this teaser come out. Where did I put it? Here we go. All right. That was a super quick teaser of the WoW cube. Is it a Decepticon or an Autobot? I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. You with us, Massey? Where'd you go?
I'm with you. I just
Okay.
started to have a echo.
Okay. All right. Cool. You look like you're leaning to let one rip.
I have my mute button at my finger.
No, did you saw it, right? Yeah, you got it, right?
God, dude, that was cool as shit.
Right? Great job on the teaser, by the way. I know he's out there. My editor in secret is out there. Great job on the teaser. When I tell you, oh my God, we probably shot an hour and a half with it. There's just so much. And even watching that teaser, like, I'm like, that doesn't even show you a quarter of what what it can really do.
My first step, if I can solve a Rubik's Cube, I can take all the piece, turn it to the right color, and pop it the fuck back on. Hell yes. I'm smart.
And it's cool because and you can set it to challenge mode. Like everything is because it can keep track of how many twists you do, not just time wise, but also like how many twists you actually execute. Like it tracks all of that. It tracks everything.
I don't want any of that shit.
Yeah, like the way so like when you're in the game, the way you would get back to the main screen or main home screen is you shake it like an 8-ball. You shake it and it goes back to the main screen, and then you kind of think of like I was telling the guy, I'm like it's almost like a laser level or not a laser level, like the bubble level. You know how like the way you tilt it, you're trying to get the bubble to select because like the icons are in the corners, so you tilt it, and that makes the bubble kind of that's your pointer, your selector. And then once you've selected it, you tap it, and that's how you select. It's intuitive. Like once they gave me like a 2-minute hand, like with it, I understood it. It's super intuitive, and it's fun to play. And the sky's the limit. And what he was telling me, he's like, he's like, we're gonna have a bunch of stuff installed on launch day. There'll be games and apps and things that are on there. But he goes, what we're really counting on, what we're really betting on is for that one person to develop like the must-have app on it, right? Like to create that Tetris game, that Super Mario game, that game that defines the generation. He's like, once that's on there, everybody's going to want one. Everybody. Because right now it's like, yeah, it's cool. It's an electric Rubik's Cube and it does time, does everything your phone does basically, but in a square. The other thing that we were talking about, which I found really fascinating, is he goes, it's really aimed at kids. And one of the selling points is that in this current generation, we're seeing a lot of kids, because they stare at the tablet so long, you're staring at a fixed point on a flat surface and, just tapping at it. And he goes, it's causing a lot of like degenerative eye problems with kids. And he goes, with this, your eye is constantly having to scan it and look around, and you're having to manipulate it. So you're moving your body, you're being physical with it, with the twists and things like that. It's not a passive experience where you're just holding it at one level, staring at it at one point and interacting it that way. This has to be moved and manipulated, and your eyes are scanning it. And he's like, so it got certified already as like a, I guess there's some type of certifying body that as like an authorized STEM device or whatever like that for its applications of like there's math games. You can set it to do math games and adding the numbers. You can set it to shapes and all the different things. Remember when we had to shred CRT monitors because the logos were burned into the screen? Yeah. Yes, I do.
Well, another thing people don't realize, by the way, I'm getting some audio feedback because of how
yeah, sorry. I'll fix that. Yep.
But with iPads and things, another issue is hard to sleep and things like that. You just went blank with the
yeah. I got you.
Okay.
I got you. There you go. We're good.
Is with cool. So with when kids are looking at stuff, because of how refresh rates work and everything, right? Like when they're looking at a stagnant image, their eyes are still constantly having to refocus essentially constantly with refresh rates and video. And so when your eyes are having to move with something like what you're looking at now, you're not having the same type of basic refocusing with your retinas and with your eyes. And so it's a better use of that eye function, so to speak. So yeah, I can see it be beneficial as a electronic device for younger folks to it's like, hey, play with this instead of watching fucking Bluey for the next 7 hours, on your phone before you go to bed.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You hit it right on the head. So I think it's an incredible device. Oh man, I can't believe I've talked about it for like 45 minutes at this point, but it's just it blew me away. It blew me away. Like I can't remember the last time I was this obsessed about something. Dude, I got the fucking the Fallout little wrist device, which is so much fun to play with.
Yeah.
But after a while, I got bored of it. I mean, I got a VR headset. After a while, I got bored with it. Like, I go through technology. But this is something that, like, it's because it's an ecosystem. It's ever evolving. It's ever, present. Like, there's just, oh, man, I can't wait to have one and to play with it. And I told him, I was like, y'all got to be careful because, like, this is an easy way to, like, you could do like crypto farming or
Yeah.
turn it into a gambling device. You can easily like spin the lever to ding 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 ding. I was like, you can do gambling on it. He goes, yeah. He goes, we're gonna be very, very security conscious about. He's like, we want people to develop what they want for it, but at the same time, we understand it is going to be marketed as a kid's device, and that we have to be very careful with what is allowed on there. So like no gambling, no crypto farming, no, right. Advertisements for Viagra and porn websites that are playing on there.
Well, I'm out.
So yeah. So it's one of those things.
Dude, I'm glad you shared that. I'm actually excited. I don't get excited about like tech and toys. It tends to be really kitschy and stupid. Like when they start mixing it, that's actually a pretty dope device. I'm excited about that.
That's what I'm saying. Like when I first thought about it, I was like, man, that's just another Tamagotchi. It'll be hot for a minute. Yeah. People will get tired of it, and then it'll just be junk in a drawer. But
there's a lot of possibilities. Well, because even with that, with APIs and with everything else, and do you know, is there Wi-Fi or Bluetooth linked into it?
Yes, sir.
Jesus. Because now you have capabilities with APIs with toys, with remote controls, with drones, because you could have your camera display here and you can still have Jesus, that's cool. Okay. Now I'm hard under the desk.
Rock. The table just lifted about 3 inches.
Full on. Yeah. 2.5 max, baby.
2.5. No, like we were like, that's the thing. Me and this, so out of respect to this guy, because he said, don't put it out there, but like, so this is version 1. Well, no. Like everything I've talked about is fair game. Everything I've talked about is fair game.
I'm kidding.
What's coming next, I won't talk about. But to understand, like, this is version 1, and he goes, like, because we're ready to ship. Like, we're ready. They're in production. They're ready to ship. But he goes, I'm already working on version 2 and version 3 and how it'll be different. The same way the iPhone, as it goes through versions, it improves. And there are some really cool features that will be added on, but like just for this one, like there will be speakers, there will be a mic. It won't be in the cube itself. It'll be in the base. There'll be like a dual mic in the base. So as long as you're near the base, you could be like, hey, turn on the blue light, and it'll turn blue or whatever, or you could tell it what time is it and whatever. But like we were postulating, this is just examples of future things. Because right now, when you finish a game and you get a high score, there's going to be an active leaderboard. It has to communicate through the base to the server, right? To this offsite server, and then the information goes back and forth. Hey, what up, James? But I asked him. I said, hey, man, are we going to get to a point where it's peer to peer? Where I can bring my cube over and we can just compete right there without having to bounce it off all these satellites and servers and stuff. And he's like, we're working on it. We're working on it. Like, he's like, it's in the pipeline. And another cool thing, like, so the aquarium feature, like you have a little aquarium, and he says, as you're playing our built-in games, there are rewards that will be little fish, different types of fish. And so they'll be added to your aquarium. And so as you're building up more and more and more, you'll have these fish. And like you can, silly things like you can tap it to feed the fish and whatever.
Yeah.
But he goes, they're working on a feature where like, so if I have this octopus, I don't know, I pull the cube off, he's in there. You come over with your cube, I can actually put it in your cube and you'll have that octopus, so you can, now it's like Pokemon trading, like the stuff is, it's limitless. The possibilities are limitless. The ideas, like I think when the community, they already have, he told me like they have already a Discord of like a couple hundred users who are like just constantly giving input and ideas and how it can be utilized. And so they're like, we're very in touch with the community and what the community wants and how the community's going to use it.
My initial thought too is, generation 2 and 3, like how smart are they going to make the bezels if you lay it out flat? Because what's the resolution on the screen going to be? Can you have a 4K screen, you lay that bitch out flat, and suddenly you have a mobile magnetic 4K display you can watch shit on when you lay it out flat, because the bezels are small enough that don't interfere with the content, whatever. Anyway.
Yes, sir.
Cool. So cool.
Yes, sir.
So cool.
Very, very, very cool stuff, man. And I think if this first one hits the way I think it'll hit, we'll definitely see, just like, iPhones that get better and better screens, we'll see better and better resolution and smaller, print and, yeah, I'm blown away by it because I'm a big tech guy. So I'm blown away by the tech. 25 patents, the completely original pieces of technology. You have 24 individual like screens and so that's 2, 4, 6, 8 different computers basically running the whole thing. It's so cool. So damn cool. Yeah, man. I'm excited.
I am upset though that we're getting this before Demolition Man 2, and that is my core.
That's Hollywood, man.
I haven't given up, but it's gone.
That's Hollywood, man.
It's a dead dream.
If there was a Demolition Man 2, it would be so different. It would have to be you cannot do Sly Stallone and Wesley Snipes.
It's still my favorite movie of all time, and I don't give a shit. I want it.
It's a great movie. I just think
cameos for both.
I think a sequel will be so disappointing.
Well, they're going to reboot. They're going to reboot. I'm just going to speak this curse upon. They're also going to reboot Back to the Future at some point. So all of our dreams are going to die.
No.
All of our dreams are going to die.
No, dude. I will burn Hollywood to the ground.
He already tried, sir. He already tried.
I will. No one will ever besmirch the perfection that is Back to the Future. No. Dude, you want a way to piss me off? I'm a pretty level-headed guy. No.
My mission tonight is complete.
I will start calling in bomb threats to studios. I won't let them film. I won't let them. They can cast it. It'll be the biggest, most expensive production ever because I will keep delaying it.
Seth Rogen and Professor Brown. I can log off now if you want. My night's complete.
My watch is warning me that my pulse is quickened and I'm having a cardiac, which by the way, talk about what my watch insulted the fuck out of me. It was like Friday or Saturday. I'm walking around again. I'm doing like 20,000 steps a day. And suddenly my watch starts going beep, 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 beep. And I'm like, what the fuck is it? Like, I've never heard it do that. And it said, your cardio health is low. And I'm like, fuck you. Like, I'm doing fine. I feel fine. I mean, I probably was having a heart attack and I didn't even know it. But yeah, apparently I was having low cardio health episodes.
I had to go to the ER a couple weeks ago. My dude, I'm hitting the high blood pressure stage of my life, and I refuse to eat better. So, medicine it is for me.
I refuse to eat better or do exercise. So, cut it out or put it in, one or the other.
Exactly. I love P-roll too goddamn much.
Oh God, man. All right, a little bit of Fantastic Four talk. before we end
Yes,
the night?
sir. You know you've missed me.
I did, man. I did. It's been too long. So Fantastic Four. Overall, I really liked it. I really liked it.
Okay.
I I'm glad that they went the route that Superman did. You seeing that you would get this reference of we don't need to do the origin story, or we can skim over it, right? We know the beats. We know Superman came from another planet, got raised by the parent. We got that. We know that. They hit the highlights and move on. And this isn't Superman year 1. This is, Superman year 3. For Fantastic Four, this is year 4. Like they do a quick 20, 30, it was like that 2 minute, 3 minute, where like, the story, they were up in space and they were hit with the rays and then they came down and they've protected our world ever since. And so celebrating 4 years of the Fantastic Four and all that. So I'm glad that they went that route. We don't need to tell an origin story. We don't need to know that they love each other and that they're a family. They already are.
Right.
Obviously, Galactus is the big bad for the movie, but they had been teasing a lot of kind of minor villains to, kind of like Saturday morning cartoon style, where you have little villains pop up here and there. And there were a lot of references to villains, but we didn't really get to see any of them. In fact, John Malkovich shot a whole sequence playing, I think it was the Red Ghost that got cut out of the film.
Oh, wow.
So, you did get that one fat dude that's all over Hollywood right now. He played the Mole Man, but it wasn't any like villainous stuff. It was just some talking.
Right.
And then outside of that, you just had a lot of allusions to like, oh yeah, remember when we took down the trickster, and oh yeah, and the guy, and hey, we're gonna take out these guys, like, but there was no actual using their powers to kind of fight bad guys, which was a little disappointing.
Could have just basically trying to bring in lore without actually establishing it. It's
Right. Yeah. We're establishing it without showing it. Right. We're telling, don't showing, which is, great.
Which I feel that's more of lip service for fans, right? Because people that don't know shit about Fantastic Four are going to fucking care. But the people that know the comics, know the Fantastic Four, are going to be like, what about this? What about this? And so they mention it. So it's at least like, oh, okay.
Yes, exactly. And, we know this is not the universe of the Marvel universe that we are familiar with. This is a whole separate plane of existence, because it's like they're perpetually stuck in that 50s, 60s style era, even though they're hyper futuristic and they got flying cars and robots and stuff. But it's like aesthetically, they're in that, what they call it, retro futuristic look. So it's a whole separate universe, and they make, exactly, the Jetsons. And they make lots of allusions to, like, Professor Reed's like, there are other universes and parallel realities and blah blah blah. So they're already setting up the reason to, jump to other realities. But I think I think people are gonna disagree with me on this. I liked that, much like in Superman, they kind of nerfed the power. So like Superman is essentially an indestructible god, but yet he got slapped around pretty good in that movie. And it's because James Gunn said, like, I brought down his kind of power level a little bit just so that it's more, you because otherwise it's just a dude just like punches bouncing off of him, and it's like it's not fun to watch. So in this one, like, if you remember the Fantastic Four movies from before, like, you'd have Reed Richards like stretching his arm out the side of a building, around the building, wrap it up, and like ridiculous levels. Whereas this guy, he was more like, remember Stretch Armstrong? And you would like stretch it out. And yeah, you would get to like maybe 3 times his size, but then you start maxing it out and you're like, that's about his stretching ability. There's at no point that I felt like he stretched to some unimaginable realistic. It really just, seemed like he was extending out to just kind of way past what you should as a human, but
Right.
not, he's not creating shape. Like in the comic books, this dude would turn his hands into like bowling balls and like all types of
Right.
like completely
Yeah.
reshape his genetic code. And we didn't see any of that, which again, I think some people will not like because it's in the comics. He can turn his body into whatever he wants. He can turn into a liquid basically.
Yeah.
And we didn't really see that. The same with like Human Torch, a guy who can light himself on fire. In the comics, we've seen him stay on fire even in space where there is no oxygen. But
Right.
because, the comic book answer, the heat, the fire comes from within him. It's like rocket boosters in space. It's giving off the thing. But here, like as soon as he left the atmosphere, you see the fire start to die down to the point where he can't ignite anymore. So there were definitely ways that they kind of brought down the power levels, so to speak, which I liked. I liked from a storytelling perspective because, again, you can grow from that, and also then like. Because the answer to everything is like, oh, like a building's falling down, turn himself into a giant trampoline, and building goes back. So there's just so much you can do. Whereas if you limit that, it I hate to say it feels more real because obviously it doesn't. But
Limitations require you to be more inventive with your storytelling.
Yes. You have to be more creative, more inventive. I like that. There was, I feel we got to see some really cool uses of Sue's power that we don't typically normally. I don't think I've ever seen. So like, it's not spoiling anything because it's in the trailer. She's pregnant at one point in the movie, and Reed's worried about her, and so she turns her belly invisible, and he's able to look directly at the baby inside her belly.
Oh, that's cool.
And I'm like, that's such an inventive way to use a power like invisibility. And so, I thought that was great. There's, there's a couple spots I think I would have done things a little bit differently. Maybe in some spots added a little more humor, in some spots added a little more stress, a little more, feel it.
Okay.
The Galactus was great. I mean, I think that's a really hard character to do. That's a really to say you're going to have a guy who is the size of planets and can eat planets, and how can you realistically fight that? I mean, that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
And so I think they did it pretty well.
Well, so comparatively to the other Fantastic Four movies that are in existence, is this the Fantastic Four movies that we have deserved for quite some time, or does it fall a little short of that expectation? Where would you rank that? Because I actually did not hate the Sony version that happened recently. Like a lot of people fucking.
Oh my god,
recently,
fantastic!
It was not good, but compared to the old ones with
it was less
Chris
campy.
Evans, and those guys, I liked it better. So comparatively, like where would you rank that in the realm of what we have versus what we wanted?
I think this is the okay. So technically, I think the ones that had like Jessica Alba and Michael Chiklis and all that, and a pre Captain America Chris Evans, let's not forget, as the Human Torch, let's not forget that. I think for what they were, and they were very campy, those were closer to the comic books in the sense of how their powers were on display. Not saying those were good movies, but they were more comic book accurate as far as like their uniforms, as far as how they're, again, we saw Reed do just ridiculous stretchy shit in those movies. And this one, I think, played it more towards, it did a really good job. It just played it more towards MCU rules, is what I think it is. Whereas those movies were like, hey, it's comics. We can do whatever we want. And so I think this is the best interpretation of Fantastic Four we've had. And I'm excited to see what they do in the future. I think there's a lot of place to grow from here. Let's see, tsunami alerts issued for Japan, Alaska, Hawaii, and U.S. West Coast after a major earthquake strikes Russia's remote Far East. Okay, good to know. So if you're on the West Coast or on one of those islands or Alaska, shit, our boy Matt Mike's in Alaska right now fishing for some halibut. Hope
we
he
got
knows
those a lot when I was in Alaska. We had a lot of when I was up
tsunami
there.
alerts. Yeah. Yeah. Well, we'll shoot him a message. So overall, like, I really enjoyed it. I took my 8-year-old, who is not, shocker, is not a superhero fan. He's not into superheroes at all. His father's obsessed, and he just couldn't care less. He's big into trains and emergency vehicles. Like, that's his thing. And guitar. So very creative that way. But he had a good time. He enjoyed it. He thought it was cool. He thought the powers were cool. He thought the story was cool. And overall he enjoyed it. He said he liked it. So take that for what it's worth. An 8-year-old thinks it's cool. But I think it's worth a watch. And like, I saw it in, like, we pay a couple dollars extra and we go to, like, the Dolby Atmos IMAX theater. And I enjoyed it. I think the sounds, the scoring, the composing of it all was really good. And and I think it's one of the better Marvel movies to come out in quite a while. Where something like Deadpool and Wolverine was, like, pushing the boundaries of what's allowed, so you're kind of like, whoa. This just felt more like this. It reminded me in so many ways of phase 1 of the Marvel universe.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Where it wasn't perfect, but, like, they were trying stuff and it had its own tone. Like, each movie had its very different, distinct tone. There wasn't this kind of, like, copy paste mentality across all the movies. So this definitely feels, and my biggest thing, and I say this all the fucking time, is I get we are living in a shared universe, but make a good movie that starts and finishes, and you can have all the cookie crumbs and illusions and cliffhanger, but don't make a commercial for the next movie. Like, that's so many of the movies, and this is why people started to really not like Marvel movies, is because it felt like a lot of setup for something else. And it's like, I came to see this, and all you're doing is teasing that. And so this felt like a very well-contained movie. And yes, there's a post-credit scene that definitely alludes to what's coming, but that's fine. But that's what the post.
But that was phase 1, right? That was the whole thing. You have your movie, and then the post-credit was the tie-in for the next movie.
Yes.
The movie wasn't the tie-in. The post-credit.
Exactly.
And the post-credit got you excited. Granted, that ruined, movies for all theater workers everywhere.
Ever.
Yeah, ever. But that's what you got excited about, right? You stuck around through the credits and you waited because you wanted to see what the teaser was going to be for the next thing on the list, as a whole movie setup. Yeah.
Exactly. So I think they're back to their roots in that sense, that this is a well self-contained story, start to finish, with a nice little post-credit that teases what's coming. So I highly enjoyed it. Like I said, minor critiques, minor things that I might have done a little bit differently or less focus on or more focus on. But overall, for their first movie as the first family of Marvel, like, I thought it was really well done. I've
heard both. Like, I've a few people I've talked to have absolutely hated it top to bottom, and then a few people have absolutely thought it was like they were super stoked about it. So I've heard both sides of it. I'm going to see it anyway.
Divisive, yeah, it's divisive to say the least.
I'm waiting on Kevin Feige and James Gunn to finally realize, hey, you know what? You know how much money we can make if we just do a big crossover in MCU versus DCU? And screw our integrity for comic book realism, and we're just going to make a shit ton of money and make this movie. Let James Gunn get a few films into his DC reboot, and then a massive crossover, just wreck all of it for one massive grossing movie. Yeah, I'm in. I'm in.
That's a big ask. That's a very big ask.
Do you know how much money that they would make off of that? It'd be
If
an
done right,
insane amount.
if done
If
right,
done well.
but
Yeah.
you know
I
how much
still want
money
a
that
Johnny
would
Bernthal
cost.
Punisher movie. I still want a movie. I want a full-length Punisher movie. I know they're doing a standalone
Yeah,
like
series.
special on Disney Plus, but I want a movie.
Yeah,
I want
and
John Bernthal
apparently
Punisher.
he's gonna be in the next Spider-Man movie. Like he's gonna be, but he's not gonna be the main character. He's gonna be a side character.
Well, historically, Punisher and Spider-Man interacted a lot in the comics.
Yeah. Oh
For
yeah.
a good bit, depending
Oh
on the
yeah.
series.
They're ground level heroes. So that makes total sense.
Well, it's funny. The Punisher was always a character that that I loved from the get go. Like he was always one that I really liked, but I never felt like I don't know. I know he was huge for a hot minute, and then kind of died off right as
Mhm.
society changed, and it's good to see. It was a while back, but when they first cast John Bernthal, I always say his name correctly. Bernthal, is that the right name?
Bernthal.
Bernthal. I was say Bernthal. Anyway, I was like, oh, he's like, why would they cast him? That's going to be fucking terrible. And now, like, I can't picture anybody else as the Punisher and in that role. Like, he was such a perfect cast.
Yeah.
And I was wrong. So now it's like, that's all I want to see. I want to see he needs his own movie.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Looking at the box office gross, it looks like 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago when Superman first came out, it had an overall gross in its first weekend at 201 million, and in its second weekend pulled in 134. So
Okay.
that's that's like a 33% loss, which is still pretty good. It topped the theaters. So now with Fantastic Four coming out this past weekend, it pulled in 184. So less than Superman's first weekend, but still the second highest earning of the year in a weekend.
Yeah.
No, let's see. So if we go back to, let's see, Mufasa pulled in 103. Captain America: Brave New World pulled in 179, which is shocking because that movie
That was a
not
terrible movie. It was
not good
garbage.
at all. Minecraft pulled in 202 in its opening weekend. It's not surprising. Wasn't a terrible movie. Wasn't a terrible movie.
It was awful.
It was not a terrible movie. It was a Minecraft movie. That's exactly what it was. They hit the nail on the head. It was a Minecraft movie.
I'll give you that.
Thunderbolts pulled in 144, which is good for how like people, didn't really go see it, which is a bummer because it's a good movie. I think Thunderbolts is a good movie. It's a good movie. Lilo and Stitch pulls in 264 its opening weekend. And then How to Train Your Dragon 153. And then Jurassic Park 155, which a waste of money. Superman 201, and then finally, yes, now Fantastic Four pulls in 184. So it's tracking well. It's tracking well. I'm hoping that it holds pretty well because let's see, Superman dropped 33% from week 1 to 2. So if you're looking at that range, if it can do like 110 to 120 this coming weekend, I think that'd be a good get for it. So, and there's really nothing like, what movies are you looking forward to? We were talking about this the other day where I'm like, there's not really much. Like this was it.
No.
Fantastic Four was kind of the last big tentpole. There's not really, some people are looking forward to like the Predator Badlands. What was the other one? Like the next Wicked. But there's not really.
I am looking forward to the next. I just blanked for the name of the next movie, the Conjuring universe. I love the Conjuring movies. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Conjuring. I mean, they've done really well. They've done really, really well for
The last The
themselves.
Devil Made Me Do It was not fantastic. I do like all.
Yeah, because The Naked Gun comes out this Friday, which, if you want to know what our thoughts on, go to our channel because our boy Nemo went to see it early and put up a review of it.
I would not have put money on Liam Neeson coming back for a Naked Gun reboot. I would not. That would not have been on my bingo card.
That was not on the bingo card. Apparently, it's pretty. He said it's super short. It's only like 70 minutes, 75 minutes, something like that. So it's super short, but that it doesn't recycle a lot of the old jokes. That it does a pretty good job at kind of doing that thing. He said it was pretty good. Yeah, outside of that, man, like, man, I'm looking through the list and I'm like, there is nothing here where I'm like, oh, that's must see movie, The Toxic Avenger.
I'm in for that. I'm in 100% for Toxic Avenger.
Peter Dinklage. Go watch the trailer, then tell me what you think. I'd be curious to see what you think on that. Outside of that, man, there's nothing.
Not even really any huge like holiday season blockbusters that are usually would be dropping.
No, the Smashing Machine is The Rock in that action biography.
Mhm.
That's gonna have some push behind it. Tron Ares is probably the biggest thing I think is gonna come out.
Yeah.
The Tron movie. Yeah, man, I'm like I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel over here. Chainsaw Man. No, that's not gonna be anything good. Predator Badlands. The Running Man. You know the
Oh, I
remake
did
of the
see the
Running
preview
Man.
for the Running Man reboot, and I'm mixed because
Yeah.
I love the 80s and 90s action flicks so much.
Yes. Yeah.
And so I saw the preview for the Running Man. I was like, I don't know.
Eh,
We'll
yeah.
see. Because I
Uh,
didn't hate Colin Farrell like Total Recall, right? When they rebooted
right.
that. Like
Yeah,
I
it
didn't
wasn't
hate
terrible.
yeah.
Now You See Me, Now You Don't. The third, and that's franchise is coming out in November. Wicked for Good. Zootopia 2. Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
Ugh.
Yeah, man. Avatar, that'll be the big one in December. Avatar Fire and Ash.
And the first Avatar wasn't good, so I have no hopes for that one.
I mean, the box office would disagree with you. It's one of the
I understand why it did well in the box office, but it was just Pocahontas with blue people. Like it wasn't good. I don't care what anyone says.
it's just blue people Pocahontas. I like that.
Yeah, it was pretty. Like it was like the
It's
technology
beautiful,
behind it and
yeah.
the visuals was a beautiful movie, but it
Beautiful
was just
movie.
trash.
Oh, that's gonna be the highlight of the day. It's just Pocahontas with blue people.
It was.
Um, yeah, and so to Scott's point that Predator Badlands was a movie that I was like, ugh, doesn't need to exist. Saw the trailer and I went, okay, I'm with it. And then there was something that was the opposite that I was really excited for, and then I saw the trailer and I went, nope, that's they ruined it. They ruined it. Trying to think what was the one that I was excited for that they ruined it with the trailer, but yeah, the Predator one I'll give him credit. That one took me by surprise where I was like, okay, I see what
We'll
they're
see, because I love the Predator and Alien movie franchises very much. But like the last Predator movie, was it The Prey that they put out on Hulu? Like it was meh,
Oh,
meh.
see, I'll disagree with you on that one. I liked because it went back to that the hunted feeling of like being the prey and like that I liked it. I liked it
Yeah.
quite a bit. What was the movie that
I mean,
maybe it was
you
right
didn't get any
soon.
better with Predator 2 with Danny Glover. That's all I'm saying. That was the pinnacle of the
I'm
franchise.
too old for this shit. Oh man. Man, there was something that I was like, oh, The Conjuring Last Rites. That's the one coming out in September.
Last Rites. Yeah.
Last Rites. There's a movie that I was excited for, and then the trailer came out, and I was like, ugh, they ruined it for me. Another one of those art house picture, Leonardo DiCaprio movies, one battle after another.
Yeah.
They win all these awards, but like, who actually goes sees that nonsense?
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
You know
alrighty.
you know that made a great movie in a long time that he's past due is Sam Rockwell. I'm ready for another good Sam Rockwell movie.
Sam Rockwell. Okay. Okay. I could see that. I can see that. We'll see if it's any good.
I,
Yeah.
I think he's effectively been canceled. I don't remember why, but I don't know.
I'm
I think he
sure
was
there's some
or something.
reason. I'm sure there's some reason. Dude, I don't know. Have you heard the casting of like I think it was the Street Fighter movie? Like they've been like slowly releasing like who's been cast. And I'm
No.
like, some of the names are just wild. Let me see.
I haven't.
Street
The only thing I've been following recently, casting wise, everything is the new Zelda live action that they've announced recently.
yeah, yep. That's definitely one of them. Let's see. Here we go. Skip ad. I don't need to see an ad for an article, dude. What the fuck? All right, so you've got a lot of people you've never heard of playing major characters, but there's a couple that stand out to me. David Dasmalkian. So he was like Polka Dot Man in the Suicide Squad. That
Yeah.
tall, lanky, creepy looking dude is playing
Mhm.
M. Bison in Street
What?
Fighter. Yes. Yes.
Is he gonna put on like 200 pounds? Of
Hopefully,
muscle?
like maybe 400 pounds of muscle, maybe, which,
Jesus.
again, no offense to him, I actually bumped into him in San Diego. So I was
Yeah.
literally walking down this corridor because I was going from press room to press room. And of course, I'm down in my phone as I'm walking, and boom. And I went, oh shit. Like, look up, and it's David Dasmalchian. And he scared me because he's taller than I thought he was, but he was like slick back jet black hair in like a long black trend. Like he looked like a vampire out of a Blade movie.
Right.
And he's super pale.
Right.
And it just startled me. It looked like a kid doing a 2000s interpretation of a vampire cosplay. And
Okay.
it just startled me. And I was
Or the
like,
dude on Grandma's Boy.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes. So that's your M. Bison. They've got Cody Rhodes, the wrestler, as Guile. So
Okay.
you got the American Nightmare as Guile. You got Jason Momoa playing Blanca, the big
Okay.
green, motherfucker. You got 50 Cent playing Balrog, the boxer.
Okay. I could actually see that one. That would make sense to me.
Yep. Andrew Shull, who's that like comedian podcast
Comedian.
or whatever,
Yeah.
is playing Dan Hibiki, which is kind of like a Ryu kind of.
Right. I was gonna say Vega
spin-off.
would have made sense for that dude, but
Yeah.
okay.
Vega's being played by this dude named Orville Peck, which I don't know
Okay.
him, but
Yeah.
I can totally see him as Vega.
Okay. Yeah.
Bringing the back to wrestling, Roman Reigns is playing Akuma.
Okay.
So, the legendary, badass. And then you got a bunch of like dudes that you've never really heard of. So like Vijay Jamwell playing Dalsim, Hiroki Goto, who's playing E Honda, Andrew Koji playing Ryu, Noah Centino playing Ken, Kalina Liang is playing Chung Li. So yeah, man. It's shaping up to be
We'll see.
I don't know what, but it's gonna
Yeah.
be something. It's
Man.
gonna be something. I don't know what it's gonna be,
It's gonna be, yeah.
but it's something.
But I didn't hate the Mortal Kombat remake, and so
Yeah.
there's hope that they're
That's
gonna-
the
they're
one.
gonna do a
Thank
sequel.
you. Thank you. That's the one where I was excited about Mortal Kombat 2 because I enjoyed the first one and I liked what I was reading about a lot of the changes they were making for the second one. And then the trailer came out and I was like, ew.
Yeah.
This I don't know. Like for me personally, the hype meter went down with the trailer. And that's usually not a good sign. But for like the Predator Badlands, definitely the hype meter went up. It ticked up because I was like, all right, I see what they're trying to do. I see what they're putting together. And we've never seen the Predator on his back foot, right? Like where he's the one in danger. And, I thought like, again, because that's what they had announced, like, oh, he's the one that's, and I was like, that's a cheesy, cash grab of a Switch. But then when you see it visually, how it plays out and all, like it, I think it looks good. I think it looks pretty good.
Okay.
So we'll see. We'll see how it all
Right on.
shapes up. Footage you may have still need to. Yes. All right. With that, we have been at it for quite a while. I'm just glad my voice held out. And watch the trailer, the Johnny Cage trailer or the actual movie trailer. Yeah, the the Johnny Cage trailer, because what's his name? What's his nuts? Carl Urban plays Johnny Cage in the new Mortal Kombat, and they released kind of like a Johnny Cage trailer, like a movie trailer, which is like a cheesy, like we were talking about, like that cheesy 80s 90s action movie where like you could tell they're not punching each other, like he's just doing spinning kicks that are nowhere near close, and the guys are
The
flipping
Van Damme
over.
Lionheart-esque,
Yeah, it's very on the nose, which like I get it. That's cool. That's whatever. That to me was better than the actual Mortal Kombat 2 trailer, which was didn't get me excited. Whatever. But all right, we have reached the end of another amazing episode of Pop Culture Warrior. I want to thank the co-hostess with the mostest, Mr. Massey. Thanks for joining us and hanging out with us tonight.
Back, man. It's been a while.
I know, man. I forget how much we enjoy each other's company when you're just not so much of an asshole. You know, it's when you tamp it down, you're so enjoyable. You're such an enjoyable person, you know. When you don't talk, you're such a handsome guy.
You talk so goddamn much tonight. I just kept my mouth shut. It was fine.
Come on, you gotta be used to that from Ice, right? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. He'll be like, "How come you didn't talk more in this show?" I was like, "I didn't have a fucking chance, dude."
There was a lot of stuff to go over for San Diego, but you said a couple good words here and there. You know, it was pretty good, impactful.
Yeah, you glossed over a few really great jokes just because you're like, I'm not delving into that. So good job.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, I want to thank you guys for joining us tonight. Another amazing episode. It's been fun. I have to go rest my voice because it is about to give out on me. And but you all have a great rest of your evening. Enjoy. I just walked in my office for some strange reason. I don't know. That was weird. Yeah, that totally threw me off. Thank you guys for joining us for another awesome episode. I appreciate you all. Shots to all of you. And Tron 2 looks absolutely hype. You mean Tron 3. Tron Ares is actually Tron 3. There was already a Tron 2.
Get it straight, Insomniac.
Yeah, get it. Don't get it twisted. But yes, karaoke metal nighttime, nice. And Twisted Metal season 2 actually looks good too. I'm looking forward to that. So there's a lot to look forward to. Peacemaker season 2, Twisted Metal season 2.
Just nothing on Disney Plus. Fuck that channel.
Not at the moment. Andor's pretty good. I think the next thing that's coming out for them is they're doing like a Marvel Zombies thing or
I did like the new Daredevil. I did like Daredevil.
Daredevil's good. And they're gonna be bringing back, like, the next season's bringing back Kristen Ritter as Jessica Jones and some other stuff. So can't argue with that. All right, folks, we appreciate you. We love you. We'll see you next week, and stay tuned because I gotta start giving away this stuff, and also a lot of guests are coming from Comic-Con and beyond. We're gonna have a lot of guests. In fact, even while we were talking, I've had emails pop up that like need to confirm dates. But got some really cool surprises coming up for you guys and giveaways and things. So hang in there with us and have a great rest of the week. We'll see you guys next time. Chats.
Let's see it.